was a cold, moonless night in October when I decided to explore the old abandoned school on the edge of town. The building had been closed for decades, ever since a tragic fire claimed the lives of several students and a teacher. The town had tried to forget about it, but the stories of hauntings and strange occurrences kept the legend alive. I had always been skeptical of ghost stories, but something about this place called to me. I grabbed my flashlight, told no one where I was going, and headed out. The school loomed in the darkness, its broken windows like hollow eyes staring into the void. The front doors were chained shut, but I found a side entrance with a rusted lock that gave way with a firm tug. The air inside was thick with dust and the smell of decay. My flashlight flickered as I stepped into the hallway, casting long, eerie shadows on the cracked walls. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of my own breathing. I made my way to the old auditorium where the fire had started. The charred remains of the stage were still visible, the curtains reduced to tattered shreds. As I stepped onto the stage, I felt a sudden chill, as if the temperature had dropped by 20 degrees. My flashlight flickered again, and for a moment I thought I saw movement in the corner of my eye. I turned, but there was nothing there. Then I heard it, a faint, whispering sound, like voices murmuring just out of reach. I strained to listen, but the words were indistinct, a jumble of syllables that sent a shiver down my spine. The whispering grew louder, more insistent, until it felt like it was coming from all around me. I swung my flashlight around, but the beam only illuminated empty space. Suddenly, the whispering stopped, replaced by a single, clear voice. It was a child's voice, soft and pleading. "Help us," it said. My heart pounded in my chest as I turned toward the source of the voice. There, in the middle of the stage, stood a small figure, a girl in a tattered dress, her face pale and her eyes hollow. She looked at me with a mixture of sadness and desperation, and then she vanished. I stumbled backward, my flashlight slipping from my hand and clattering to the floor. The beam flickered and went out, plunging me into darkness. I fumbled for it, my hands shaking, but before I could find it, I felt something cold and wet brush against my arm. I froze, my breath catching in my throat. The air around me grew heavy, and I could feel a presence closing in, suffocating me. Then the whispers returned, louder this time, more urgent. "Help us," they said, over and over, a chorus of voices that seemed to come from every direction. I could feel hands grasping at me, cold and clammy, pulling me down. I struggled to break free, but the hands were relentless, dragging me to the floor. I screamed, but no sound came out. Just as I thought I was going to be pulled into the darkness forever, the hands released me. The whispers faded, and the air grew still. I scrambled to my feet, grabbed my flashlight, and ran, not stopping until I was outside, gasping for breath under the cold night sky. I never went back to that school, but I've never forgotten what happened that night. Sometimes when I'm alone in the dark, I still hear the whispers, faint but unmistakable. "Help us," they say, and I know that whatever is trapped in that place, it's still waiting.